Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is the captain speaking.
Greetings everybody, Maximus here. As we told you on Monday, this week the Boeing MAX returned to the skies for 3 days of FAA certification flight testing. Well, those tests have concluded, and I thought I'd give you a quick update on what took place and what still lies ahead. That's next on Maximus. Real quick before we start, if you enjoy the content here in the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And of course, don't forget to like and ring the bell so you can be notified every time we release new content. Thanks for watching. On Wednesday, the FAA and Boeing completed the initial test flights required for certification of the 737 MAX. However, there is still a long road ahead for Boeing before the plane can receive clearance to fly passengers again. Although Boeing is still hopeful the MAX will be flying passengers again by mid-September, most industry experts believe that the date is much too ambitious, especially considering Boeing's recent history with the MAX of missing past highly publicized deadlines. During the 3 days of testing this week, FAA pilots and engineers evaluated the changes Boeing made to the automated MCAS flight control that was responsible for both deadly Lion and Ethiopian Air MAX crashes. The software called the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, has been upgraded to ensure that it isn't triggered by a single sensor and cannot be activated repeatedly, as was the case in both deadly air crashes. Boeing has reconfigured the entire design of the flight control software so that the MCAS system now receives data from both flight control computers instead of only one, thus taking input from both angle of attack sensors located on the left and right side of the aircraft instead of only one. The plane flew test flights for 2 hours on Monday, 4 hours on Tuesday, and 97 minutes on Wednesday. While completion of the FAA flights is an important step, it's only a first step, however, as much work and testing still lie ahead. The FAA will spend weeks evaluating the data gathered during these flights to assess whether the jet's systems perform as expected and comply with all safety regulations. The FAA will review Boeing's final design documentation, along with a technical advisory board consisting of experts from a dozen international air safety regulators and NASA. The FAA is only one side of this coin, however. Aviation safety agencies from all over the world have already announced they don't intend to simply take the recommendations of Boeing and the FAA as they have done in the past. So included in the next steps towards certification, the FAA will be meeting with a panel of regulators from Canada, Europe, and Brazil to evaluate minimum pilot training requirements and flight manual instructions. They will also issue a draft report open for public comment and then produce a final report on the required minimum training standard, which will include time in a full flight simulator, something Boeing had refused to provide for airlines who fly the MAX. In the past, simulators were something in fact that Lion Air pilots had pleaded for before the first MAX crash and were refused multiple times by Boeing. After world regulators and the FAA have concluded their combined evaluations, the FAA will issue an airworthiness directive advising airlines what upgrades they must install on the aircraft, which at that point will have been parked for approaching 2 years now. After that, the FAA will then lift the MAX grounding order, conditioned on completion of that work. Even after that is accomplished, it will probably be a few months before the U.S. airlines could put the MAX into service. The FAA will have to approve the pilot training programs at each airline, after which the carriers will run thousands of pilots through simulator training, and that alone could take months, and some have even speculated years to complete due to the fact that there are so few 737 MAX simulators even available. The FAA must also perform in-person individual reviews of each of the several hundred MAXes that Boeing's built since the grounding, but hasn't delivered. Even without the additional complicating factor of the lack of demand for airplanes due to the pandemic, it was expected to take a year or more to get all those aircraft flying again. So it looks like Boeing's making progress, or at least moving in the right direction towards getting their best-selling plane back up in the air. But still, it probably won't be anytime soon. Well, there's your MAX update. What do you think? Let me know down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and ring the bell. And remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you next time in the air. Yeah, this Maximus.